Velocity Money Machine Live. Hey, what's up? Welcome. I am Paul Halmy and with the notorious Johnny Buck. And we're here to talk about velocity. So we get a lot of questions since we launched this towards the end of last year. It was a beta launch that we did of just getting it started, getting it going. And it's one of the things that it was basically a byproduct of running a really successful martial arts business consulting program where people were like, and Johnny's a good example of it. It's like, what do I do with this money I'm making? I don't know what to do with it. I don't want to blow it. So basically went and created an entire course and mastermind behind it of like, hey, when you don't have money, we've all been there. Like when you first start your business and you're struggling, you're like, don't have money, don't know what to do. And then you start making money and then you start spending on stupid stuff. So it's like, okay, what do we do next where we can build this out and have all these systems in place where it eliminates a lot of the headaches, and just makes it simpler to do. So Johnny's on here. He's, been a client with Tribe for a long time, for what now? Oh God, 5 years?
2017. Yeah.
17. So yeah. So, and now he's a coach, an accelerator, and helps with the Tribe stuff. And then also with Velocity, I helped him a bunch with just doing a lot of fun stuff with, building into a new building and not losing your mind and keeping an eye on your finances. Like before this talk, we were talking credit scores. I mean, it's what a bunch of MMA fighters do. So you're not talking about the credit scores, but it's funny because your life changes and people are like, oh, money sucks and you should just teach martial arts for the honor of it. And that's a bunch of crap. It's like, no, I got a family to take care of, people to provide for, and having a better lifestyle and being able to build a better facility. Like Johnny's new gym's ridiculous. It's so nice, but you couldn't have built that a couple of years ago.
Dude, I couldn't have built it a year ago, honestly. So, we've been working together for a while. Both when you were the ads guy, and then but it's it's been huge for me. We started with the automation process where and this is the one. I think this is the one thing that made the most sense for me, or made the most ROI, was I waited too long because I'm an idiot, but take $20 a day, $50 a day, whatever it is that you're comfortable with, and put that out of your account every single day. And so what I did the same thing. I think I'm up to 75 a day right now. And it saved me multiple times, but $75 a day, every single day, goes out of my account into a savings account. And that's been huge for me. That saved me when we had some medical bills. We took care of that. It saved me for the gym. I didn't take a loan out until I was already in this building. And it's because it took me 5 months more to be in here because of COVID and the supplies and stuff. But having that money on hand was huge for me. I bought a rental house. I got a good deal on that, so I had the liquid cash to make a really good deal. And the best thing, I think I paid too much, but it's for my mom, so I guess But that's the thing. I got to help her out. Realistically, that was a big benefit. I'm making money. She made the money. She's out of that headache. So I'm into it. But yeah, it's really been beneficial having it, and it's super simple. Like I think the fear-based mindset got me in trouble a little bit in the beginning, because I couldn't take $10 a day out of my account, and at one point I couldn't. But being able to do it now, it's been great. My goal by the end of this year is to be moving $200 a day into a savings account, and then using that for future investments, protection. Taking care of my guys. Like we went out to dinner not too long ago. Wasn't that expensive. Like $1,500, $2,000, and I took them all out and they had a blast, so being able to do those things, I think, is really, really important. And to me, I love teaching. I would do it for free, but I prefer not to. I prefer being able to provide for other people, because I remember my first gym, dude, it was a MRSA mat, man. It was not okay. but yeah, so it's really nice being able to do these things, because the Velocity Money System, the Velocity Money Machine System. There we go.
Money machine system. Yeah, it's been through a lot of names because, and people like one big misconception is when people talk about like, oh, I'm scared to invest in stuff. And it's like, we've had to explain to them. It's like Velocity is not about investing. That's like, we don't even teach that until I think Amy, she's not on here, but that's like module freaking 4 or something. It's like way down the road, because you don't need to get stressed out and worry about stuff like that. In the beginning, it's like, if you're watching this, you're an entrepreneur, more than likely you are, because that's pretty much who we talk to all the time. But if you're an entrepreneur, yeah, you've got ups and downs around. And we all want to invest. We all want to, I want to buy more stocks. I want to buy Airbnbs. I want to buy this. I want to buy that. But if you don't build the systems in place, then you're always going to be like, you're going to be that person. And if this triggers you up, then it's probably right at spot. Like when I have money, I'm going to, Those guys that I talk to, they're never going to have money because they're always going to. It's like that guy that's like, when I get in shape, I'm coming to your gym. If I had a freaking dollar for every person in town that told me that, like, it's the same thing. It's like, it's like it doesn't happen. And you got to treat your money like your business. And with your training, that's why I love, jujitsu. Such a, when I'm on podcasts, I tell people, like the host, it's an unfair advantage in life training jujitsu, because it's like you learn to deal with pressure, you learn to plan. Anybody that's been through a fight camp or training for a jiu-jitsu competition knows how much work and planning goes to it. But then you tell them, hey, we need to plan your finances, and they're like, oh, I can't do that. It's like it's easier. It's easier than competing. It's easier than those things. And it's what's so fun about doing this and building out the money machine for people, is showing them it's like you don't have to invest. We didn't even recommend it in the beginning. It's just creating automation. And that's one of the biggest things. I even made a cool little thing for that one where it's like, boom, why automation is key. The entire thing is built around automation. It's like building a machine. It's not like Chat GPT or anything yet, which that thing's terrifying. Have you seen that yet?
Dude, Hormozi between like level 1 or 3 and 4. It can learn itself. I'm gonna teach you how to stock trade.
Oh, did you see was it Hormozi's post, whatever, the level 3 to 4, the next iteration is going to be, it's terrifying.
Yeah. Level 10 is terrifying to me.
Yeah. I mean, level 4 is going to be, level 10 is the Terminators are coming and Skynet and all that's falling. But automation, it just simplifies things. It's like when when you run your business, you put your bills on auto pay as many as you can. You put everything you can on auto pay. You put you build your machine. And the cool thing about it is people are like, oh, I can't start this. I don't have a lot of money. It's like, you have $1? Do you have a freaking dollar? Like, okay.
I remember in the very beginning, it was $50 a week for me, $50 a week. That's what I started out as. And like where I screwed up, I didn't automate in the beginning because I was scared. And at that point, $50 was a lot. So I did. So I did. I'd skip a week because I didn't have $50. But then now, like I said, I put whatever your max or like 254, whatever your max Roth is, or whatever. Yeah, I think 12,000 this year. I divide that up, so that goes in every year for me and my wife. I have like what I call a fun account. I just put money in there. Whenever I lose my mind and need to buy another gun, I buy one. AK is next. I just do those things. But so it does a lot of fun thing. But what saved me the first year, what really saved me with this was a $13,000 tax bill. Like that was, I'm like,
oh, I remember that.
I sent you a text. I'm like, hey man, I just wrote a check to the IRS for $13,000. I want to puke, but thank you. Like
now we have more money problems. We hire better accountants now, so we can get rid of those problems.
Never paying taxes again.
It's like hire better accountants. Although, man, it was crazy. The whole thing about them not funding 87,000 IRS agents. That's a step in the right direction. Now this got to defund the IRS. Is next.
Fuck them.
Then we'll really talk about money. I mean, because it's so crazy. Everybody, it's just so hard being an entrepreneur. I mean, it's not easy. I mean, you think about like COVID. Oh, now this is going to go nowhere. I said the C word, but it's going to get
going nowhere. Come on it.
Going nowhere. It's over. But it's like when you had a job during the pandemic, it was easy. People got paid to do nothing. I had friends like, oh, I got COVID, and they would just get paid to do nothing. I'm like, and us being entrepreneurs, a lot of us got shut down. We were told we weren't going to get paid. It's like
I was supposed to.
Yeah, it was bad. So it's like you learn resilience, and everybody's freaking out about a recession right now. I'm excited for a recession.
I capitalized on COVID because some of the stuff. That's why actually when I got into stocks, and like it was, I literally just bought what was the EFT 500. I'm like, what is the stock market doing? It's skyrocketed. And then I took a dip, and then we started messing with crypto and stupid stuff. I quit doing that really quick. I'm like, oh, so, but that was what I'm doing right now is, what's that? Yeah. You owe me Ethereums.
Owes me rent now, little bastard.
But what I'm doing, what I did was, and this is, because the automation, I took some risk. I have a very high risk aversion. Like I'm really not afraid of anything, which is sometimes bad. But like I was paying the minimum of my credit cards. I ran the stock market up, or I ran some trades up, and I paid all of my debt off, like every bit of it. I'm like, cool. Then I started making the smarter investments. That's when my automations came in. I'm like, all right, cool. 64% returns are not sustainable, unfortunately. So I
You
started
wish.
putting I'd take 16% returns. But I started doing automation. I paid all my debt off. I started putting money into my IRA. I started putting money into my savings account, my fund account. It allowed me to buy my wife a brand new car because you couldn't buy a used car. Of course, middle of COVID, my wife's car died. So what do you have to do? You have to go buy a car, right? And new was because they were cheaper. It was better, right? It's a little bit more expensive. So I bought my wife a car. I bought myself a Bronco, and I'm like, I didn't realize how easy it was. Like, I joke about the haves and the have-nots. It's the haves and have not done the work. That's the part that they cut off. That's realistically what it is. Like, yeah, there are times that I want to go blow a bunch of money on dumb stuff. And if I don't have the money set up for it, I just don't do it. Like, how many times have you not bought things you wanted when you were poor? Now it's a choice. Like, that's the difference. Like, you can't have that Lamborghini because you're poor. You can't have that Lamborghini because your stash isn't $250,000 yet. It's a different it's a different mindset, but it makes a big difference to me.
Yeah, and that's a big thing is people get freaked out. Like 2020 was the best. It's funny. Everybody that was following me in 2020 was like, "Man, this investing thing's easy." I'm like, guys, this isn't normal. It's not normal. I'm trying to tell John, I'm like, this is not sustainable. It's like you just put money in and be like, "Oh, this is easy." And then 2021 was tough. 2022 was like the worst year of my life. Like, I mean, I lost more money than it's insanity how much money I lost in 2022. But at the end of the day, it's like, did I lose it? I did. And the funny thing is I
just moved on to safe investments. I moved to a savings
thing. As long as you're doing stupid shit, and I broke my own rules. Like, I always tell people, don't put more money you're willing to lose and stuff. So I'm like, oh man, Coinbase at 400, that's a great buy. It's like, what the fuck was I thinking? It was just, I did some really stupid shit in 22, and it's like, I didn't stick to the fundamentals of like, hey, invest in. And the thing is, though, I kind of did because I do use Coinbase. I don't use FTX, thank God. But it's like, sticking to those fundamentals of not, putting money in stuff you don't understand, not doing, not getting overly risky. And I got cocky, because 2020 and 21 were easy. 22, I paid the price. So now it's like, hey, what are we doing now? And I just keep buying stuff. It's like, just keep acquiring things, but still you have to build up all the other accounts too, because you have those buffers for when things happen in life and you got to pay this bill, you got to pay that bill, or the AC goes out at your gym, or you got to buy some more mats.
That's what we did. That's right before, because COVID, you couldn't find a rental. They were not going to rent to a gym, period. No. So like, and that's because we had the excess money, and I'd rather give my gym a facelift for 10, 15,000 than give it to the IRS. So I bought all new mats. They're like, do you want to finance them? I'm like, no, I just want to pay cash.
Just give them to me.
And can you give me a deal for cash? No. Okay. And then this gym came up finally, and I took, the extra money I had to do this. Like I said, I didn't get a loan until I was already in this building, and I didn't need it. It was a comfort level. I like having liquid cash around because they're good investments do come up. I can't tell, and this is mostly me being young and stupid. Like, I can't tell you how many like mid-70s Broncos I've missed on a super deal because I didn't have cash. Now I'm like, oh, $3,000. Here you go. It's in my truck. Let me go grab it. These are important things to have. And those are things that, to me, buying an old classic car is not a great investment unless you're going to do the right thing. And that's my passion. I like doing that stuff.
What can you flip it for? So say you buy it for $3,000. What can you flip it for?
You put some work into it. They're selling for like $150,000 right now.
Okay, I'm in the wrong business. Let's switch to Bronco renovations.
Yeah, classic cars are really going right now. They're up and down, but like Bronco specifically, because the new one came out, like they're doing it really well. Dude, put it this way: if I'd have bought the first Bronco, the new Bronco when it came out, I could have flipped it for $30,000. I didn't make that. Was my fault. I had the money, but there's always ways to make money, and it doesn't have to be the stock market. I hate the stock market. Like we talk about, my money is going into rentals. Like I want a trailer park.
That's the real money is trailer parks, man. You basically own dirt.
Yeah,
it's like it's the best thing ever. You don't have to repair anything because it's there. It's like, dude, those guys make serious money. The guys that own trailer parks.
Oh yeah, and that's why I'm doing the money system. Like I'm putting that money away because when a $50,000, $60,000 down payment shows up for a trailer park, that's got like a 10-12% cap rate, yeah, I'm absolutely doing that.
Oh, I would love to own one. I mean, literally own dirt.
Mhm.
It's like, it's not like, because rental houses, you have to fix the house up the trailer. They bring their own trailer.
Yeah, I've got probably 40 grand into my rental already.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. It's so many opportunities out there. And that's why I love talking about, that's kind of, I think we're breaking that's why I want to do this show. People are like, oh, you just talk about money too much. It's like, well, what else do you want me to talk about? Fucking politics? It's like, no, I'd rather talk about money with my friends and clients. It's fun because, we have our tribe masterminds, everybody in tribes doing good. And they have all these, like, I don't know what to do. Should I open more gyms? Should I scale this one up? Blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, hey, now I got this. Now I got kids. It's like, do I do college funds? Do I do this? Do I do an IRA? Do I do rental properties? Do I do Airbnbs, trailer parks? It's just fun. You put yourself with a powerful network. It's a blast. That's what we're going to do with Velocity. The whole thing behind that is, yes, we have the course. Yes, we have the mastermind and everything. But in the fall, we're going to host a live event in Dallas, which is going to be super cool. It's going to be ridiculous.
That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah,
that's what I'm excited about. I didn't think about trailer parks, and so I forget who I was talking to about it. I mean, that's probably the best idea I ever heard in my entire life. And then, using other people's stuff. I'll tell you the one I want to get into. I just haven't had the liquid cash at the right time. Is 'cause I bought my own rental. What is like those? I don't know what they are. Like, it's like real estate groups where you all put money in together and you buy like a whole condo for Airbnbs.
Yeah, those are the ones, thing.
Yeah, those are ones exciting to me. Because you have nothing except like you write a check and then you get money.
Yeah, it just takes longer a little bit, and I've done a couple of deals like that where it's a slow ass runway where you're just kind of like, okay, this money is not liquid, so it's like, it's right to build the level. And everybody, it's so funny when I talk to people, they're like, well, I want to skip ahead to that part, and I'm like, well, you didn't do steps 1 through 3, so you want to go from white belt to brown belt? It's like, that's not happening, buddy.
Think about this, like, your first, so you're excited, it's your 3rd month in jiu-jitsu, you didn't quit, that's good, but man, I'm going to advanced class. I'm like, you're going to have a rough time.
Correct.
Like, I'm going to go into Johnny's comp class because he's got worlds coming up. That's going to be a really bad day for you. And the thing is, like, I'll let you go when you tap. Dude, the market does not care. Like,
no, it'll take all your money.
Mortgaging their houses for FTX and shit. I'm like, dude.
There are people refinancing their houses to buy more Bitcoin. This is the funny thing. This is like when we get into like psychology too. And that's another thing when I talk about jiu-jitsu and MMA training is so important. It's psychology. It's like people are like, man, when Bitcoin was at 60, how many people did you talk to when Bitcoin was at 65? Like, man, I got to get some Bitcoin. I got to get some Bitcoin. Now that it's at 15, people are like, oh man, I'd never buy Bitcoin. I'm like, so you only buy at all-time highs and you sell at all-time lows? That's your strategy? And they're like, yeah, man.
I turned down 2 Bitcoin for a fight in 2016.
Oh, but dude, it's crazy right now.
$500 more than I needed 2 Bitcoin.
Yeah, and the thing I tell people is like, yeah, people are like, oh, Bitcoin's scary, dangerous. Yeah, so that's my biggest thing. And I tell people, don't put more money in than you're willing to lose and set on fire. It's like, but to me, is Bitcoin going to be the future? I hope so. I dabble in it. I put a little bit of money away every month. I buy some, and I don't worry about it. I don't think about it. But
I forget I have it. I look. Oh yeah, I forgot. Could I buy it on like Venmo or one of those apps,
Yeah, we just let it set it and forget it.
I forget. I was trying to find my returns now. I think I'm up still 40% on my one of the Cash App where you can buy stocks because I bought them and I just left them there. Like anytime I had like extra money from Cash App, I would say, I move $20 over, move $40 over. And that's, to me, I'm a long-term stock guy. Like if I'm going to use a stock game, it's going to take a long time. I'm not worried about it, so if you give it enough time, like you're going to win. That's the thing about it.
Yeah, it's funny. I just realized because we're using StreamYard on this one. It's like all these. I'm like, oh, there's like a whole bunch of comments that I missed.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought we sucked. I'm like, nobody wanted to listen to us. So people are like, oh, good stuff. About real estate investments. Yeah, and it's just fun, and that's why I love talking about Velocity. I love talking about money and people. And that's anybody that has a business knows like you can't talk to your regular friends about it because then you're just an asshole that teaches jiu-jitsu and cashes checks. They don't realize we freaking work 24/7, 365. And it's like, yeah, we're trying to build stuff up. Yeah, we're trying to do more things. It's so tough. And that's why having people you can talk to is so important. That's why I'm going to Johnny's next weekend, which is super cool. We're doing our first, I guess not our first one, it's probably our second one. This will be the first like big one, sales and appointment center training. Wow. It's so funny. It's like, for all the entrepreneurs on here, everybody's like, oh yeah, I need more leads. I need more leads. Well, yeah, everybody needs more leads, but what if you optimize the leads you're getting? How much freaking money
I
are you
have
leaving on the
3,000
table?
names, numbers, and emails. 3,000, right? Some of
Yeah.
those people come in for drop-ins and stuff, but I might think about this. If I got 1% of those that sign up, guess what happens? I double the size of my gym almost. It's important we do that.
It's crazy. And when dialing these things in, like as we go in and build this out, that's why I'm super excited because, like my son, my son's actually participating in the gym now, which is crazy. So it's fun for me. Like I'm getting to train him and like, hey, this is what you need to do. So it's like taking him and having him do these trainings and learn these systems because it's invaluable skill sets that you develop this stuff. It's so crazy.
Well, even if you don't
Sorry.
own a, oh, you're good. Even if you don't own a gym or like even if like you're an employee at a gym, especially like learning these skills are invaluable. Like I've sold for Alan on other projects. I've sold for other people. I legit at one point was like, I'm gonna go sell cars just to ruin like the old fat guys there and then leave in 6 months. Like that's, there's a bunch of skills that transfer from whatever you're doing now to whatever you're doing later. And I think sales, talking to people is a huge skill that you can do in any industry, but you need to have it in any industry.
Yeah. And then that's why I'm so pumped because people are like, I don't need to get trained, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I'm coming up on the 20th anniversary of my gym and I'm going to sales training. It's like, because my ego's not that big. It's like, I can learn stuff. It's like, and I can relearn things. It's like going to a seminar and it's like, okay, I need to learn this stuff. I need to tighten this up. And having my son at the gym has changed a lot because it's like, he wants to learn these things. He wants to do this stuff. So it's like, I have to go through and kind of learn stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this is making sense. This is cool. This is why we do this. But, like you said earlier, I was always the ad guy. It's like ads, leads. But it's like, dude, don't burn all the money up and have a shitty appointment setter or no appointment setter. And then a marginal closer.
We joke. I spend still to this day less than anybody in all of Tribe. Like I just do.
Oh yeah.
We put the content out, but like we signed up somebody from just over 18 months ago. Like they put their information in a year and a half ago. And we've never stopped. Like, like here's the 4 objections you're going to get in sales training. And in general, this is across the board, right?
Any business.
Yeah, but I need to talk to my wife or partner. So if it's a B2B sale, like business, well, I need to talk to my partner. Okay. So that's number 1. I need to think about it. That's number 2. Right. There's a ROI. I don't know if it's worth the amount of money. And then the 4th one you get, and this is the only one I don't push back on, is I can't afford it. Like literally they have $10 in their bank account. It's out of their budget. Like legitimately, not like, well, things may be a little tight. They say, no, I have no job in $10. Why did you come in, by the way?
Don't be in here. Sorry.
But yeah, so those are the 4 objections you're going to get. And there's like 3 responses. That's it. And that's been a big one.
But think about it, if you get good at that, and that's why, like, as you grow your gym, like we were one-man operations. Like we'll talk to people when they join Excel, like, man, I sign up everybody and no one ever quits. And I'm like, okay, so you have 700 members. And it's like, well, not exactly. But it's like, yeah, when you're signing up under 10 people a month, sales is easier. But when you have to bring in more people to help you, then it's like, okay, now I got to train these fools so they don't suck and we can get this dialed in.
And you got to think too, like when you don't know what the fuck you're doing, like people are, hey man, I want to join. Like they found you. Like, because your marketing's not very good, your advertising not very good, your social media presence probably sucks. You're showing like how cool your reverse De La Riva game is, but nobody cares. Like, nobody knows who Gordon Ryan is. Like outside of jiu-jitsu, nobody knows who Gordon Ryan is. He's not famous. He's not Jake Paul. So, but yeah, and then as you increase your sales, you make more money, and to make more money, then you can do more things. You can hire people, you can pour into them. Listen, this is the cheapest I've ever seen it in Asheville. Nice hotels are $85.
That was crazy when we looked that up. I was
dude,
like,
I didn't believe it. I was like, man, I'm gonna show, because I understand, dude. When you start out, remember my first trip to New Orleans? I stayed in a hotel, Airbnb for $75 a night in downtown New Orleans. Think about how nice that was, and the ceiling fan caught on fire. And they said, don't turn it back on. That's what they told me. So that was my first thing. So, and I stayed for a week because it was cheaper than it was to fly. Shitty Airbnb that was on fire. And then the flights were a lot cheaper. So I stayed down for a week and budgeted my money. By the way, when we went back in 2020, my first meal cost more than that week, I'm pretty sure. But, investing in yourself is going to be the best ROI. Like, what do you want to invest in yourself? Absolutely. So
Oh,
what's the best way to invest? Learning how to invest, like learning what to do with money, not what your cousin did, like not what you saw a meme of, right?
Dogecoin.
Not Halloween bears, Paul.
Yeah, I've fucked up. It's like transparency.
Yeah, invest in yourself. Like learn these things. That's big to me. Like the sales one's huge. Being able to sell is huge for them.
Cause I'm excited because people saw the stat that we posted of your year last year of like all the money on day one. It's like I was looking at it, going through my numbers, like how much stuff we missed out on in 2022 at the gym because I was busy. I had a million excuses, and they're all on
103,000, Paul. In case you're wondering, it's 103,000.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally a Porsche. I mean, it's a freaking, it's insane. It's
super sweet old Bronco. Damn.
Yeah, super sweet old Bronco. I mean, it's like there's so much out there, and so it's like that's why I'm super excited to, no matter what industry, you got to keep training. You have to keep learning. It's like in jiu-jitsu, we don't stop training. It's like when you stop training, you get fat, and then you can't do jiu-jitsu, and then you're that old fat guy in the corner. So it's like I have to keep training. I'm 47, so it's like shit's harder every year, but it's like I don't want to fall behind. I don't want to become that instructor who's like not training anymore and just teaches. It's like I need to train. I need to get in there and growing it. But then it's like, yeah, and it all recycles itself. It's like creating these winning habits, the habits of running a business, the habits of, people are like, oh, I'm scared to invest. Don't invest then. Just create an automation and put it in the savings. I mean, you can get 3 to 4% right now doing nothing. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah. Amex just opened a bank, like an actual savings account. I think they're 2 or 3%, which will help save off some of the inflation. It's better than having cash. It's better than the stock market right
now. And you start stacking cash because people will tell me like, oh, $20 a week, that's not very much. And I'm like, it's over $1,000 a year. How much do you have in savings? And they're like, $84. I'm like, would you rather have $84 or $1,000?
Yeah, but here's the thing: they're the same people who spend $20 a week on lottery tickets.
Oh man, that's my favorite.
It's your wife.
No, I'd kill her. I'd be divorced in Thailand.
You want to hear something crazy? So I ran the numbers. I didn't believe it. I'm a data-driven human. So if you that 1% better thing every day, if you get 1% better just as a human, right, which you should be striving for, you're going to be like, so say today you're at level 1. At the end of this year, so January 1st, if you start January 1st next year, you're going to be 37 times better. It compounds, right? It's your favorite. At the end of year 2, you are 1,400 times better than you were day 1. And at the end of year 3, you're 52,000 plus per times better. Like that's compounding. So that's where investment in yourself becomes so important. Now you're not going to get 1% daily returns in the stock market anymore, but you are going to get those returns, and it does get exponential. It's like your chart's like boring. Holy shit. It's the last 10 years of your investment where it really pays off. And that's the investments I'm playing in general, like just long-term investments, put them in the stock market, like a EFT, which is basically the entire market. If you look from the beginning of the stock market till now, it's never gone down like trend wise. A few dips, never long term.
You buy the dips. You just buy the dips and pray a lot. That's what I do currently. Keep buying. It's just crazy because people, they want to make up excuses like, well, I don't do this, I don't do that. And it's like, dude, you don't have to invest in the stock market. Put money in a savings account, high interest, and then start looking for stuff you want to buy into. And opportunities come along. It's like, dude, it's so cool. And it's like just doing these things. And like you said, going back to that is like, man, it's just improving yourself. Because when you improve yourself, everything in your life gets better. Like I know when like my life's not going the direction I want to go, it's because I'm not training enough. I'm not working out. I'm not eating right. I'm getting tired and cranky.
Yeah.
Making stupid decisions, which is compounding the bad parts of my life. And it's like, they're like, okay, man, I got to fix my diet. I got to get my workouts in, get my training in, listen to some podcasts, read some books. Like it's weird. Good stuff starts happening.
Yeah. That's great. Like, I'm buying all the things I use, especially credit cards. Yeah. Dude, Amex made me a bunch of money. So I use that a lot. Apple, Amazon. I'm the reason Amazon. Actually, I'm the reason Amazon dipped right now. I quit using it so much, but I'm using it again, guys. So go ahead and buy Amazon. Buy me a share.
Buy me a share.
They're under $100 a piece, by the way.
Yeah, it's like 80 something, I think, right now.
Yeah, today. Go buy some.
Yeah, so we're in a crazy spot.
I just don't see it going poorly long term.
So we'll wrap this one up just a little bit. So what's your big goal for 2023 if you had to have one major goal?
My major goal is to get my cash flow to where I'm putting $200 a day away, which how I already have it planned out in my head. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get all of my debt that I built up the last 2 months to get that done. So I'm accelerating that elimination. But the thing is, I'm not getting rid of my savings. Like I'm still automatically moving 75 over. But once that debt's free, I'm going to get that up. I'm going to put that in. I'm going to wait to see what happens with the stock market, honestly. If I'm in the real estate market. If it doesn't dip like I want to, then I'll go into probably Airbnbs or some kind of syndicate. But max the IRAs out.
We're gonna start our tribe trailer park syndicate. We're going nationwide, maybe.
Dude, they're huge in Texas. They can be like 80 acres and shit. South Carolina,
massive here.
I'm gonna do South Carolina. Well, people,
dude, I love that though. It's like with the automation that people are probably freaking out when you say $200 a day too. Just so you guys know, we're meaning $200 Monday through Friday, so it's not like 7 days a week. So it's still a good chunk.
On Monday, I put 800 in there. I don't care.
All right, never mind. Johnny's going 7 days a week. So yeah, there's a lot of automations you can't do on the weekends. Money doesn't move on the weekends because the world's weird like that. But
it's 6 days a week right now because I think TD does Saturdays.
Nice. Yeah. So if you could put, and you have to listen to this and be like, that's impossible. Yeah, it was impossible for Johnny a year or two ago too. But it's like you start off at 10, then you go to 20.
Numbers. Yeah, Rory Singer used to say numbers. I wanted to strangle him. I'm like, that's impossible.
Oh yeah, Rory. Yeah.
No, it is. Oh, okay. So yeah.
Well, it's when you put yourself around people that are doing the things you want to do. It's like you start hearing things. People talk about stuff like, oh wait, you're doing that. Okay, I could do that. All right, cool. Let's do this.
The first time I said $600,000 wasn't that much money. Yeah, Tim and Samaya talk about buying a building. But yeah, $600,000. That's not bad. You should do that.
That's a good deal. Yeah, dude. Yeah, if you can get a building for that price, that's huge. Can't do that here.
The land I want is $2 million.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's especially land up there.
It's on a river though. I'm building a compound.
Fund it with ammunition and old Broncos.
There's tax write-offs.
Tax write-offs. I hope you guys like this one. We're gonna do this one every month. Kick off the month. We'll be doing. It's gonna be fun. We'll do kind of like what we're planning, what we're doing. What's going on, updates of things we're doing. Right now the biggest thing is, spreading the word, trying to help people. Like, hey, you need to create these automations. You need to do these things. So if you got questions, hit me or Johnny up.
It's not hard.
It's simple, but we want to do everything. So. So, all right. Hope you guys like the first episode. Obviously, we're going to be doing more and more of these every month and kind of play it from there. But this was fun. I had a good time. Thanks for jumping on, Johnny.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Anytime, Paul. See you guys.
See you next week in Asheville, North Carolina. I'm traveling.
Surprise.